what has happened? Can we say we are very happy democracy? At least we still have democracy. You heard what happened yesterday in a neighboring country, where some mad dogs got up and said they have taken power. I'm happy they have subdued that coup attempt with the help of Nigerian Air Force, and troops. So that's why I said Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Navy, and the ground troops can do away with this insurgency in not more than 3 months. Not this army. They will. But the problem we have is that we have not been courageous to give the appropriate command. Look, just within few hours they went there. The soldiers disappeared. They killed them. It is Nigeria. But outside they say, they can't do anything, they can't do anything. People are abusing our soldiers. It's because I am saying it, and it's not because it's now. Give the appropriate command to the Nigerian armed forces. They will deal with this situation. Some of us have had experiences with them, and we know they have good training. They still belong to the best in Africa. And what we are doing here is to deepen democracy. We don't remove our top and throw it into the fire because other people are throwing their own there. What we do here is constructive criticism. Nigeria first. If there is no Nigeria, there will be no political party. So that was why most people, they say the opposition is not doing enough. It is not true. They don't know what we are doing. They don't know internal things we are sending to authorities that have changed certain things. Recall during the 2023 presidential election collation, it was coming to a halt that INEC could no longer move further. It was this IPAC. I was in the East because I voted. He ordered that I should come immediately. I took the next flight. I paid 300,000 that day because when you are closer to the flight, you pay more. I came. IPAC met, discussed, and then we intervened positively. We said, look, we must salvage democracy. We must save our country. It was that presentation at the collation center that gave INEC the encouragement to go ahead with the collation. As at that time, the outgoing government was not even interested in handing over. They were interested in interim government. That was what IPAC did. And nobody has told IPAC thank you, even by phone call or by saying thank you for what you've done. But IPAC is not asking for that. We did it for our country. If that situation arises tomorrow, we are still going to do the same thing. But all we are praying for is let every Nigerian, let everybody in authority do things the way he's supposed to do them.
In democracy in Nigeria. Deepening democracy in Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you. So today is a remarkable day in the history of the Inter-Party Advisory Council of Nigeria. I am humbled by the confidence leaders of political parties repose in me and my team by renewing my mandate and that of my team for another 2 years as national chairman of Inter-Party Advisory Council, the umbrella body of all registered political parties in Nigeria. I am overwhelmed by the outcome of this election. Once again, my dear friend and brother, Barrister Ken Odeze, I thank you for the show of leadership, and the ADC, thank you so much for making this stress-free for us. Political party leaders have demonstrated again that they could conduct free, fair, credible, transparent, acceptable, and peaceful election without rancor. You have spoken loud and clear with your votes for continuity of the programs, projects, and actions we jointly undertook in the last 2 years. You graciously entrusted to me the leadership of IPAC on the 15th December 2023. Today, election is a victory for sustainable democracy and development in IPAC and the nation. It is our collective victory and a triumph of hope for a better, greater, brighter Inter-Party Advisory Council and Nigeria at large. I deeply appreciate all contestants who participated and those who withdrew voluntarily in the historic election. I also congratulate all contestants who won their elections. For our dear leaders who did not scale through today. Anyway, there was no election. So I commend the officials of INEC who monitored the election, and I appreciate their presence in spite of the tight schedule. I especially commend members of the Inter-Party Advisory Council Electoral Committee for a job well done. Thank you so much, sir. Our leader, Chief Barrister Dan Nwanyanwu, MNI Welfare. You have done this before, you did it again, and you have done it again. Thank you so much for being a father. Esteemed leaders of political parties, you will recall that in December 2023, I promised to establish the directorates of women, youth, and persons with disabilities. That promise was kept. Today we have vibrant directorates of women, youth, and persons with disability. Our executive reviewed the IPAC Code of Conduct and transformed it into a constitution, first in the history of IPAC, that is binding on all registered political parties in Nigeria. A significant provision of the Constitution is a twining concept to promote inclusivity, which we have done, which we just did today.
You are not clapping.
So thus, where a male person is elected or appointed into a substantive office as a principal, the deputy shall be a female person, and vice versa. Our executive also packaged a book, 100 Years of Political Party Evolution in Nigeria, which was launched on the 30th of January 2025 in Abuja. The production of IPAC's 2.5 decades of unbroken democracy, which is ongoing and will soon be out for all to see. Our leadership also reviewed our engagements with all development partners to ensure party leaders are involved in the development of training programs that meet the immediate needs of political parties. Council constantly intervene on national issues through vibrant media engagements, policy alternatives, and dialogue with relevant stakeholders. For the first time in the history of IPAC, we received impressive goodwill and acceptance from stakeholders, which necessitated the capacity building of leaders of political parties in China and among others. With your support, the last 2 years were memorable, and with your further support, the next 2 years will be glorious as we prepare for decisive 2027 general elections by God's grace. IPAC will keep growing from strength to strength as we collaborate with stakeholders and citizens to build a strong, viral, united, equitable, and inclusive democratic nations. The tasks ahead are enormous. By God's grace, we will surmount them and build a better future generations that we'll be proud of. I congratulate all leaders of political parties for a successful elections. This wouldn't have been possible without a formidable team. My team, I thank you so much. I'm not taking you for granted. When we came on board in 2023, in my inaugural speech, we set up the three directorates immediately and the leadership. So now, beginning a new tenure, by the powers conferred on me as the chairman of IPAC, I dissolved the leadership of all the directorates and standing committees while we reconstitute immediately. So congratulations, and for those who came from far and wide, God Almighty will take you back safely. Members of the media, once again, I thank you, I appreciate you. And we'll use this opportunity to urge the media to begin to do objective reporting, investigative journalism, looking at what our country is going through. We need the media to help us straighten some stories that are not, because we see so many things that are not from Nigeria, some that are not, that did not happen recently, things that happened 10, 20 years ago. Look within your profession and get Nigeria better. Without Nigeria, you can't practice journalism. Without Nigeria, we cannot operate as politicians or political parties or IPAC. I thank you all. God bless you.